Okay. Warm welcome, Bookmasters, the Hualien Dharma teams and brothers and sisters around the globe to Saturday Hualien Dharma Talk. A very good morning. Let us start the session for today. Recently, disasters have happened so rampantly one after another due to the great imbalance of four elements. Now with COVID-19 virus pandemic around the world, Master have great concern and earnestly urge everyone to repent and adopt vegetarian meal. Going vegetarian is a way to express our sincere piety, to pray for peace and world peace, and a world free of disasters. It is the praise of love for all living beings. Let us send our sincere prayers into the 10 directions. May the Sangha land be free from disaster and peace prevails in the world. Let us sing the prayer song with sincere pietism.
In my heart, I feel deep gratefulness. All my heart is filled with sincere prayer. From all corners of the world, let us join our hearts and pray for a world of harmony and peace. From my heart, I pray. May we join our hands, our hearts as one. Spread the seeds of great love, nurture wisdom evermore. Let us fill the world with hope. In my heart, I feel deep gratefulness. May all the Buddhas know my prayer. All united with one heart, let us end our hate with love. May there be no suffering hereafter.
May all minds be purified. May there be peace in the community. May there be no disasters in this world.
In
Let us recite universal love and blessing with loving respect, gratitude, and confidence. Let us wish every person in our life a healthy body, an enlightened mind, and total fulfillment in universal love. Now let us expand this consciousness to include everyone in the world, every being in the universe. Let our unified love make this a wonderful world even better. Let us all immerse ourselves in the joyful embrace of universal love. Cảm ơn. Before we listen to the wonderful sharing, let us invite our board masters to lead us in paying homage to Triple Gems. Let us pay our respects for these teachings and explanations to the Buddha and Master Cheng Yen by making 3 sincere bows. Please rise, palms together. First bow. Second bow. Third bow. And a bow to our beloved abode masters who could join us today. Okay, today we have sharing from Klang team, Sister Hoon, Sister Annie Lee, Sister Annie Heng, and Sister Peng, and followed by Sister Phoebe from Australia. Okay, now let us invite Sister Tzu Ching for the weekly summary. And then,
good morning, everyone. Let me share my screen. Okay. This was the summary from last week. So we had Brother David first. A question was asked if there were expectations on a deed. Would the merit still accrue, or would it be diluted to a certain degree? Brother David pondered and proceeded to answer without haste. Remember the 3 spheres of emptiness when giving. Let it disappear without a trace. Forget who you are helping, and what is given. The trueness of giving is the act, must be innate without condition. Another question arose about the perception of others when we share our stories. Some people may say we are brainwashing them. That was the main worry. Sharing is like planting a seed. We speak the truth with no expectation of how it is received. A person's ability to understand is theirs to accept as they please. People can talk and opine. We cannot control what they think. So long as we are clear that our intention is pure, we should not be worrying. When Codicious are right, they will understand that time is not for us to dictate. So long as we are not attached to our expectation of their reaction, then harmony we will create. Just plant the seed and step away, that much we can do. Like nature, when circumstances are aligned, the seed will germinate, and the plant, it grew. There were too many questions asked to list them all here, so go to YouTube and listen to the whole talk, uninterrupted in the order as they appear. After that, Master Te Huang addressed us. Master Te Huang highlighted the plight of human exploitations of animals. Treating other sentient beings lies with disregard rather than a unique individual. The harsh truth is that animals are brutally forced to breed and then killed instantaneously if they do not prescribe to us human beings endless quest for profitability and productivity. Master is not afraid to show us the truth no matter how brutal it can be. Masking the truth, not wanting to accept what is happening, is just lying to ourselves unmindfully. The effect on the world, this climate change has been resultantly disastrous. Yet, the simple solution lies very blatantly in the hands of all of us. Consume less, give up meat and dairy products too. Let us say, I can change first. I don't have to wait for you. The task is for all of us to share the truths with more people to hasten the change. The more we speak, the more people hear, the more the adjustments will be less strange. That is all from me today. I'll pass over to Sister Susan right now to introduce the other speakers. Thank you so much.
Good morning. Good morning, Dharma, to Master Cheng Yen, the Abode Dharma Master, and to all brothers, sisters around the world. globe. It's a great pleasure to be here today to introduce our new commissioners from Klang, as well as Tzu Ching from Australia. It's been a long time coming that Klang English Group has 5 patients that turns commissioner this year. It is a new record for us. The last record was we only have that year was 3 commissioner in a year. So what is so unique about this is for this year is that we have 4 buddies that going for commissionership this year. Each of them has their own affinity in joint Tzu Chi, but in inconceivable affinity, they are going to commissionership together. Let us hear from Sister Hoon, Sister Annie Lee, Sister Annie Heng, Sister Peng on their journey to commissionership, which is full of challenges as well as full of Dharma joy. Shall we welcome Sister Hoon?
Good morning to our Master Ching Yen Sang Ren, the above masters, and all online brothers and sisters. I'm Sister Hoon from Klang, Sinan. My affinity with Master Ching Yen started in 2009 when I was working in Indonesia as a finance services manager, country manager. At the time, I was watching TV one night after a hard day's work, and I happened to pick the Thai channel. Suddenly, I saw Master Ching Yen expounding Dharma in Minnan language. And being a Hokkien myself, I was able to understand what Master was saying. I was truly fascinated by Master's teachings, which was full of love and compassion. And I found it very amazing that in a Muslim country, we could still get to listen to a Buddhist master's sermon. At the time, I have never heard of Tzu Chi, and it was from our Sinan Sister Lei Chin that I learned about Tzu Chi. It is the name of Tzu Chi is Taiwan Buddhist Tzu Chi Foundation, Malaysia, founded by Master Ching Yen. It is a Buddhist organization focused on helping the poor and educating the wealthy through great love and compassion, and also Tzu Chi's commitment to environmental protection. The recycling point in Klang Jaya was set up every 3rd Sunday for the community recycling activities. So after signing up as a donating member, I vowed to come back by participating in volunteering work with Tzu Chi after my retirement. Hence, in December 2014, after my retirement, I walked into Tzu Chi by myself through our Klang Jaya recycling point. My initial thought was just to give back to society by doing some good deeds, just be a happy volunteer. Since joining Tzu Chi, I have participated in numerous activities like recycling, charity home visit, being a dental assistant, and attended medical outreach, also supported the stroke support group, participated in sign language for year-end blessings, and also helped out in the education on environmental and protection projects to students from age 4 to 20. And I also help out with Tzu Chi's housekeeping in the housekeeping of Tzu Chi premises and other living group activities. I realized that by being able to contribute my small efforts to benefit others gave me immense joy, and I have learned to cherish my blessings. In April 2018, I made my first trip back to the abode in Hualien. During a cup of wisdom water session, the abode master asked us, how many of you joined the morning Shiva Xiang? Out of the whole group of us, only 2 raised their hand. And And Master was very shocked because less than a handful of people joined the wisdom at dawn. Sifu felt very strange because from her expression, I could see that she's asking why not many people join, as Jim Fasang should be a normal routine in our life. Just like we take our meals to provide nutrients for our body, we also need Dharma to nourish our minds and let our wisdom life grow. Sister Effie was asked to share her Shin Fa Xiang experience and how Shin Fa Xiang, after Shin Fa Xiang, the transformation she underwent after the 21 days. Since then, she loved attending, and from there on, she has also become one of the English translation team member. Then Sifu challenged us to make vow to attend the 21 days Shin Fa Xiang, just like Sister Effie. At the point, myself and Sister Annie, we decided to take up this challenge. And upon returning from Taiwan, both Sister Annie Lee, and myself started joining Shin Fa Xiang every morning. And from the initial 21 days, it has now been almost 4 years, and we are still attending Shin Fa Xiang talk online till today. Both Sister Annie Lee and myself started off learning the Dharma with zero knowledge. And I remember the first day when we attended the Shin Fa Xiang, when come to the sending the dedication song, we did not even know how to do the Chang Hui and San Pai. So it was truly an awakening moment for both of us. Of course, getting up so early to Shin Fa Xiang is not easy. We also face challenges. Sometimes I feel like skipping Shin Fa Xiang, especially on days when it rains. But thinking of Sister Annie Lee waiting for me, I have to buckle up and get up from bed and get ready to go for Shin Fa Xiang. My second challenge was my home brother's objection. On the third day of joining Shin Fa Xiang, my home brother started to object me leaving home so early. He asked me 2 questions. His voice was raised and he was very angry. How long are you going to continue leaving the home at 5 a.m.? What kind of deviant teachings is Tzu Chi promoting? I tried to explain to him, but he refused to listen and instead followed me that morning to Tzu Chi Center. And there he challenged our Tzu Chi brother who was in charge of opening the door and for our Shin Fa Xiang. He expressed his doubt about Tzu Chi promoting the right teachings. And also that Tzu Chi could be spreading some deviant teachings. Brother Lu was actually very calm. After my home brother left, instead of being upset, Brother Lu was actually very full of wisdom. And he told me to be more caring towards my home brother, to share Tzu Chi's activities with him so that he has better understanding of Tzu Chi organization. Both my buddies, Sister Annie Lee and Sister Annie Heng, witnessed my home brother's anger and were very concerned if I could still continue to join the Shin Fa Xiang. However, I could not give up Shin Fa Xiang now that I have found a life teacher in Master Ching Yen. I must cherish and seize the opportunity. Otherwise, I will live a life in ignorance and will be wasting my life away. Only Dharma can help us to understand ourselves better, what habits we have, how we can conduct ourselves, and the manner of our speech. When we learn Buddha's teachings, we will come to know what habits are good and what habits are bad, and what kind of conduct is better and how we should talk to others. Following the teachings can help us improve ourselves and understand the purpose of practice is to become awakened. 2 days after my home brother cooled down, he told me, come, let's sit down and have a heart-to-heart talk. And he asked me why I insist on going to attend the Shin Fa Siang. I told him I wanted to change myself, to improve myself and to change my habitual tendencies. To change others, we must first change ourselves, I told him. No point I keep telling you have to change yourself when I myself cannot change. So over a period of time, he began to see changes in me. I do not lose my temper so easily and are willing to give him a listening ear. I diligently share with him the activities I participated. And over time, he began to accept my involvement in Tzu Chi. I also get my children to be involved in Tzu Chi activities, especially recycling, so as to have positive influence on my home brother. And I'm very grateful that over time, my family are also very understanding and accommodating and try to fit in any of our outings or dinners according to my Tzu Chi schedule. That shows that they actually are respecting my involvement in Tzu Chi. And for that, I'm indeed very grateful. In March 2020, during the pandemic, just a day before my 61st birthday, my home brother has his second stroke. His first stroke was in 2014, and this is his second stroke. He lost his vision temporarily for one night. And I was very grateful that it was actually a very mild stroke. Dr. Lim, who was also our Tzu Chi volunteer, we went to see, I took my home brother after discharge from hospital, I took him for follow-up visit with Dr. Lim. And I asked Dr. Lim, how come strokes you can have a relapse of stroke? Dr. Lim's advice was to go on a vegetarian diet. And this would maybe helps in his stroke issue. And because of Dr. Lim's advice, I quickly took this affinity to become a vegetarian in April 2020. I was actually quite concerned that once I become vegetarian, my husband would object. But actually, I was very surprised that my home brother, he was receptive. Maybe it could be because of the fact that he has his second stroke and Dr. Lim told him to be on vegetarian. So from there on, I vowed to become a vegetarian lifetime after lifetime. And I even participated in our 21 days Healthier Me challenge for 3 rounds already. After joining Tzu Chi, I have changed from being an iron lady, as so said by my son, to be more tolerant, patient, and accommodating when dealing with families and other people. Grateful to my family for being very understanding and accommodating to my busy Tzu Chi schedule. And I'm also very grateful to have found my virtuous friends, the 4 buddies, like Sister Annie Lee, Sister Annie Heng, Sister Wai Peng, for their support, care, and love. We help each other participating in Tzu Chi events and find strength in unity. In early 2021, or rather beginning of this year, I decided to go for, I was actually very ready for certification. What causes the change? Last year, I was not ready. And this year, beginning of the year, I told myself that I am ready. What is the affinity? Actually, when beginning of the year, I decided, I was actually comparing to taking a marriage vow versus taking a vow to become master's disciple. During the days when we were getting ready to get married, we actually have a few rounds of postponement. We always say, oh, we want to be, before we get married, we want to make sure that we have enough money, we must have a home, a car, etc., etc. But how can we measure we have enough money? We always find we always do not have enough money. So likewise, when am I really will be ready to become certified? Anytime is the right time, I told myself. That is why, if it is right, just do it, as Master used to say it. So from beginning of the year, I was actually looking forward towards this certification. And I'm very, very glad that I decided to be certified this year. That's all for my sharing. And I would like to invite Sister Annie to be the next speaker. Cảm ơn.
So a very good morning to Sangren, Abbot Masters, and all online Dharma brothers and sisters. I'm Sister Annie Lee from Southwest 1, Klang, Selangor, Malaysia. I have walked into Tzu Chi on my own accord in November 2015. I wanted to spend my golden years in a meaningful way and to be of service to the society. It was also a calling towards walking the spiritual path for me. So Tzu Chi served as a platform for me to cultivate and create blessing. To me, wasting time is wasting life. So I first visited Hualien is during Tzu Chi 50th anniversary in April 2016. My first impression on this great organization is that it is prime and proper with so many dedicated volunteers. The environment is so welcoming and heartwarming, which makes one feel at ease. So everyone is so disciplined and served with sincerity. And I went to Hualien without any expectation. Even when I reached Hualien, the sisters there keep telling me, "Sister, please put on your name tag," which I don't even have one yet then. So in Hualien, I participated in the bowing pilgrimage, and back then I have not much understanding of the Buddha either. Before that, I bought one of Master's book by the title Masters of Love and Mercy, and to have a better understanding of the organization and its objective. When I first saw Master, I was very happy and said to myself, this is the Master I'm looking for, and she's a living Buddha in action. Because previously I've been like searching for a master where I have one which is very, very far away, and then we only get to see him once in a while. So I'm so happy that I've found a living master sharing the Dharma to me daily. So during my second visit to Hualien in 2018 with two of my spiritual friends, Sister Hoon and Sister Heng, during a cup of Dharma water session with the Abbot Masters, we were encouraged to attend Wisdom at Dawn for 21 days. Actually, then I dare not dare to make the vow, but I just keep telling myself, so never mind, upon coming back, I have to get started. And then during that time, that was my own personal me time. So which I'm very happy about it. So upon returning, both of us started our Shin Fa Siang daily until now, which is almost coming to 4 years. I was thinking to myself, if I have not taken this initiative diligently, I could have wasted all my time in vain and gained nothing. I also make an effort to get someone to fix a Thai TV for me and put it in my dining table. So each time I'll have the opportunity that when we're having breakfast, I'll switch the Thai TV on so that my home brother will have a chance to listen what Tzu Chi is actually doing. So each morning, how we get how myself and Sister Hoon is I will send her each other a text message as a morning call. So through these years of listening to Master's teaching daily, I have learned words of wisdom and true principle which I can apply in my daily living, which I'm most grateful for. A very deep, heartfelt, compassionate words from Master telling us to take good care of our own family first before going out to do Tzu Chi activities. I always keep reminding when there's an activity that I need to attend, I make sure I see to the needs of my family before going out to do the activities. So to take Dharma to heart will be the greatest strength to assist me in sailing through this spiritual journey with faith, sincerity, integrity, and steadfastness. After listening to the Dharma, I learned to be more tolerant, understanding, and accommodating. We need the Dharma water to purify our mind and nourish our heart day by day and bit by bit. Spiritual cultivation is to tame our mind and to live a simple and contented life. So during this pandemic, Master has been constantly urging us to go on vegetarianism, in which I'm unable to fulfill yet. I felt very uneasy each time Master mentioned about vegetarianism and said, don't let our stomach be the graveyard for the animals that we consume. I also felt very remorseful when the other buddies already started their vegetarian journey. That I keep, after listening to my buddies that they are on vegetarian, I start my vegetarian journey in a way that I still cook for my family. Then I start avoiding eating meat and then just keep on eating more vegetable without even the family realizing it. So my affinity going on a plant-based diet started when my beloved 92-year-old mother-in-law passed away, and I vowed to go on a 49-day plant-based diet in memory of her. So initially, my family members don't quite agree to my decision on this, but with my firm determination and perseverance, my children respected my decision, which I'm very grateful to them. So I have been trying hard to create delicious vegetarian dishes for my family to enjoy and hope that one day when conditions are right, they will join me on this. I also try to engage my grandchildren to participate in whatever activity I can get to get them involved. On my spiritual journey, I've met some precious friends like Sister Hoon, Sister Heng, and Sister Peng, whom we have greatly relied on each other for pillar of strength in order to sustain the momentum while walking on this Bodhisattva path. We support each other to move forward with great strength and unwavering thoughts. Or when we face with challenges, we would encourage each other with a positive mindset. Sister Suisan has been a great mentor to me. I'm very grateful to her for sharing her ideas and creates a lot of opportunities for us to put Master's teaching into action by encouraging us to go among the people in the masses during this pandemic. During this pandemic, I seize every moment to go out whenever I can to serve those in need. Master always reminded us to be grateful to the recipient for allowing us to give our great love. We should leave a legacy of spreading our great love far and wide. I have participated in various activities like recycling, medical outreach as a GP and pharmacy assistants, stroke support group, charity home visit, Kita Satu Keluarga program, PPB at Clinic Anika, packing and distributing vegetarian meals and gifts to the frontliners of our community, in our community, sorry. So, articles, photos, videos from Ta'ai TV documenting how volunteers carried out the relief program, help the needy, report what is true, and many touching stories in the hope to inspire more people to tap into inner love and to take action to make this world a better place to live in. So with love and care in our hearts, we can act as a positive influence on others. So the role of a living Bodhisattva is to have a broad, accommodating, and compassionate heart in the field of everyone's mind and inspire others to walk together with us on this path. If we don't create good karma, our storehouse will be empty. Even if we have built our storehouse, if we don't practice, we have nothing to store in it. A good thought enables us to create good affinity with people. So always be mindful of our body, speech, and mind. So we learn through doing, realizing through learning, and awaken through realization. So we have to listen, contemplate, practice, realization, and to take Master's mission as my mission. So very grateful to be Master's disciple. With this, I would like to contribute and conclude with this Jingsi aphorism. True skill is persistent despite difficulty. True patience is overcoming obstacles despite challenges. My sincere gratitude to everyone for giving me the opportunity to share my journey on this platform. And thanks for listening to my sharing.感恩 everyone. Thank you. So now let's call upon Sister Annie Heng to do the sharing. Sister Annie Heng, the platform is yours.
Good morning, Sangren, about Master, online Dharma brother and sister. I'm Emily Heng from Southwest 1, Klang, Selangor, Malaysia. In year 2013, my friend with the Tzu Chi volunteers invited me to attend Buddha bathing ceremony. I was so impressed with the whole ceremony and the group of disciplined and dedicated volunteers. Everything is so beautiful. From that day onward, I joined as a volunteer in the English group. But unfortunately, the sister who brought me in had left Tzu Chi. I was left alone in the desk. Luckily, I met Sister Susan to guide me through my spiritual journeys. I'm very grateful to have found Sister Hoon as my mentor. She's very encouraging and accommodating, and always share the knowledge of Dharma. Always share the Dharma knowledge with me. Initially, I only wanted to be a happy volunteer. Wherever there is a Tzu Chi activities, I will select accordingly to my time availabilities. In January 2015, I met Sister Hoon during the street donations for Kelantan East Coast floods. After the street donations, Sister Hoon always invited me to join the English group fellowships and offer to fetch me. During one of the fellowship night, I made another virtuous friend, Sister Annie Lee. We then started to participate in wherever Tzu Chi activities together. In April 2018, three of us followed our English group to Taiwan, which was my first trip to our spiritual home. I felt very calm and ease. Upon returning from Taiwan, I joined Sister Annelie and Sister Hoon to start Xinhua Xiang for a couple of days. Then I stopped because I felt very tired and couldn't hide tiredness when meeting with customers. However, during the pandemic, we are able to listen to Xinhua Xiang through online Zooms. I started to listen to Xinhua Xiang again. On one occasion at dawn, when I was getting ready to join the wisdom at dawn, I saw Master image on my bedroom wall. Master said Han En to me. I was so touched. This inspired me to be more diligent attending Xinhua Xiang in the mornings. Actually, before attending Xinhua Xiang, I was wavering, go to different NGO, mine is not focused. After attending Xinhua Xiang, listen to Dharma, I found myself is more open, accept people criticisms, different from those days. If I think I'm right, I will argue, won't let go. I put Dharma into my daily life. Be mindful and uphold precepts. And also I can differentiate that what is right and what is wrong. I also change, improve to be a better person. I change and to improve my habitual tendencies. Surprisingly, my chemical business also grew better. Everything according to my plan. I also realized that not only listen to Dharma, we also must walk on the body's Tattva path to experience ourselves. During these pandemics, I also volunteered to deliver food, care and love to the clinics, the Sehatans, the frontliners. Participated in PPV volunteers, giving food and provisions to my K1K recipients and orphanage home, the Diamond homes. The Dharma is like water that can delete away the layers of our impurities in our heart and mind. We are about to encounter problems and difficulties. We lost hope, confidence, and become discouraged. Within the Dharma in mind, we understand the cause conditions, and once we know the roots of sufferings, we are able to let go of our attachments and continue and adjust and defects in our daily handlings. Following the teachings can help us improve ourselves and understand the purpose of practice is to become awakened. Pandemic is a great lesson for me to learn to have the complete love for all living beings. So I have changed my diet to plant-based. The story of bamboo bank proves that no good deed is too small when done with love and pure intentions in life. We cannot ignore a single act of kindness and not to do them, because every small act counts and contributes the force of compassion. Grateful that I'm to be thousand disciples. I would like to end my sharings with the tinsel of reasons. Every single day is like a blank page of our life. Every person we meet, every event we participate in is a lovely essay. It's a lovely essay. Okay. Thank you for giving me the opportunity to share and earn. Now I'd like to invite the next speaker, Sister Peng. Sister Peng, your floor is this for yours. The baton is yours. Sister Peng.
Okay. Good morning, Sangren, Board Master, Online Dharma brother and sister. I'm Peng. I know Tzu Chi more than 10 years. There was a recycling point. There was a recycling point at my area. Before I joined Tzu Chi, I do some donation and drop off the recycling items at the recycling point. My late husband wished to do charity work after his retirement, but unfortunately, he passed away of heart attack in November 2014. Losing a spouse is one of the most painful experiences. No doubt I have a little Dharma in me. I know life is impermanent, yet I do not know how to let go of my attachment with my husband. Years later, my daughter shared with me that she dreamed of her father, and she walked along a garden, and they met an elderly nun, and her father was very happy talking with this elder nun. She described this elder nun as gentle, in soft tone, and spoke in Hokkien. So I know this elder nun she mentioned was the master from Taiwan. I felt my beloved husband sent a message to me that he was fine at the other side of the world, and want me to let go of my sadness, my worry, and my attachment. Even I know Tzu Chi many years, but I did not step in because I want to do the charity work together with my husband. After his death, made me realize that life is impermanent. We don't know when will happen the next moment. So we must cherish what is in the present. The first event I joined in Tzu Chi is year-end blessing in 2016. Later in 2017, I met my classmate inviting me to join a half-day event. So during the morning section was in theory. Then the second half is visiting a welfare home for disabled children. So we are in separate group. Some are doing cleaning, some are helping in bathing the children and haircutting. After cleaning, we have some interaction with the children in singing. While I was sitting on the chair, one of the children came to sit next to me. Then suddenly she hold my hand closely. As I'm not feeling comfortable, and I try many times to get a distance from her, but yet she keep sit close and hold my hand. Even until the end section, during the group photo section, she still hold my hand, So the next day when I share this experience with my colleague, they told me that because these children can feel the loving kindness in me, she feels ease with me and she wants to get close to me. But later, due to some condition, my affinity with Tzu Chi not matured. Until in August 2018, when I was washing my car at car porch, Sister Hoon approached me to join her in Tzu Chi. Sister Hoon is my neighbor. And she always invite me to join the weekly activity like English fellowship and hospital visit. But most of the time I rejected her as I was I was very tired after work with long hour journey and traffic congested because I stay in Klang, but I work in PJ. But luckily, she never gave up on me. She keep on approaching me, even I rejected her. You know, too many rejection, you also feel not nice, right? So sometimes I force myself to join. I remember the first few events in Tzu Chi was washing plates, cups, forks and spoon and vegetable, like washing away our afflictions, our habitual tendency, and to purify our mind. Grateful for my beloved husband, paved the path for me to join Tzu Chi, and truly appreciate to my three buddies, Sister Hoon, Sister Annie Lee, Sister Annie Heng, for their support and care in times of sadness. Without their companionship and support, I would not have developed the strength that enabled me to move forward. Before I joined Tzu Chi, I prefer to suffer in silence. After listening to Master teaching, I begin to understand that it's not impermanence that makes us suffer. It's the wanting things to be permanent when they are not. In one occasion in Tzu Chi, in Jingsu Seti Alam in April 2019, during the event, they play a song, Fang Xiang. I felt very sad when I see the tiny shoulder of this master. She looks lonely, and yet she has so many responsibility on her shoulder. So I want to get to know her better and wish to have opportunity to see her personally. Then 2 months later, in June 2019, I take the opportunity to participate the 4-in-1 English group camp in Taiwan, in Taichung, Taiwan. I was so happy to see Master personally and also have better understanding of Tzu Chi organization and the mission. I also admire the selflessness, team spirit, and teamwork from the volunteer. By wearing uniform, remind us to uphold the practice and 3 steps of Tzu Chi. Be mindful, humble, and to serve with sincerity and selflessly. No doubt, during the course, we are very tired as we have to wake up early in the morning, whole day attending the sharing and have to obey the rules and regulation at the abode. There are so many touching stories and experience from the abode master, brothers and sisters on how they apply master teaching in their daily living life. I also cherish the wonderful affinity to listen to Master Dharma talk, which has broadened my perspective with more positive view of my life. After returning from abroad, I become more involved in the activity. I'm a reserved person, so in Tzu Chi, the most challenging for me is sharing, as I have less Dharma knowledge and nervous and uncomfortable when talking to the stranger, and have problem to explain my thoughts and formulating sentences. It's really hard to speak my mind on the spot. Sharing issue in our life could change the way we look at things, push us to become better at what we do. At the same time, help us to improve, building rapport and relationship, where people get that warm feeling from either sharing their wisdom or picking up the wisdom of others. Sharing our feeling with others also help others understand us better. Glad I have learned from these challenges and have built up my confidence in interacting with others. My children are happy to see me let go of my attachment and more willing to try new things and meet new people. Most of my donors are my office colleagues. I have a male colleague that I know him for more than 10 years. He's friendly, but he do not want to donate to charity. Whenever I approach him for donation, he always say, I'm not free now, later. As Pastor always encouraged us to spread love and goodness, so I never give up on him. I keep approaching him until one afternoon after lunch. Happens that he walks past by my workplace. I seek the apology again and ask for donation. And he finally pulled out 8 ringgit from his pocket. This is the only small change he has. I explained to him, it's not the money we put, I explained to him, it's not the amount we put. Most important is that we give rise to good thoughts and great blessing. So yesterday when I passed him the receipt, he was so happy and shared with me that the donation receipt from Tzu Chi looks nice. I hope he has planted a seed of love and he will continue in donating to the charity. When I watched the year-end blessing, during Ta Ching Zhang, especially Ta Ching Zhang, I saw Master, I will be in tears. I don't know why, but I just have this feeling I want to be closer to her. So it's rare to hear the Buddha Dharma and it's difficult to meet a true teacher. But now I have found it and I heard it. My Dharma Sifu, Master Chen Yan. And I'm very grateful to be Master disciple. Before I end my sharing, I would like to share a Jingzi aphorism. Once the direction is established, start making great stride towards it. 做就对了。感恩, that's my sharing for today. Thank you.
I would like to invite Sister Sao Hoon on her perseverance in recruiting Sister Wai Peng. She had to wait for 3 to 4 years, I think 4 years, before she can get Sister Wai Peng to come on board. Sister Sao Hoon?
Okay. Good morning, everyone, again. Yeah, okay, I'd just like to, actually, it is what you call being patient. When Sister Wai Peng's hubby passed away in 2014, at that time, I was actually, I'm her neighbor, just a few doors away. I felt very, very sad for her, and I was actually on the lookout for her to give her a shoulder to lean on, because I know that, the sorrow that she was going through at that point must have been very difficult with 3 children. I think her youngest son was only standard 4. All right, so I have been always trying to look out for her, just to give her some comforting words. But I never get to see her, Both of us are working. Both of us were working. And each time I come back from home, I will be looking out for her. And I saw her house, everything closed up, so I never had the opportunity. So I waited for 2 years. Then I almost wanted to give up. I said, yeah, I do not know what happened to Sister Wai Peng. At the time, we were actually neighbors, but we were not very close. We only say hello, hello, only it's through our husbands, our home brothers, that we got to know each other. All right. So, and then I think it was in 2018, 2017, during our Sui Mo Zhu Fu, our Qi Xiang Ye, she participated with her youngest son. And I said hello, and I said, and there was the time it struck me, hey, I must recruit her, get her to come and join Tzu Chi. And 2017, after that meeting at this Wisma, I think it was in the place where we had this Qi Xiang Ye, I never get to see her again until 2018. 2018, one day I passed by her place and I told her, come and join us now for this Tzu Chi activity. I think that time we were holding this scholarship, the Xingfu Xiaoyan, and I said that our kitchen, the living group needs help, so we want to participate now. So that time she participated. After she participated, and she found her classmate was also actually our commissioner. Actually, I was really looking forward to bring her to our English group. That evening after, or rather the second day, she told me, Sister Sao Hoon, I don't think I want to join English group. I will join my classmate together within the Chinese main group. So I was disappointed, but then anyway, I was still happy. And that she is still coming into Tzu Chi. Subsequently, then for so many months, I don't see her coming out to for fellowship. She participate in any Tzu Chi events. Then I checked with Sister Pao Yi. Sister Pao Yi told me, oh, I think her classmate also was not suddenly become not active. So that's why Sister Wiping also didn't come up. Then okay, never mind. One day, after coming back in the evening, after coming back from our patient training class, I remember very well. She was washing car in her car porch. Then I call her, Sister Wiping, hey, you want to come and join us or not? Tomorrow we have some events. And like she said, every time she said no, she also paiseh. She also feel not nice. Then she said, okay lah, she agreed. And that was how her journey with Tzu Chi started. Kan ơn. And I'm very happy that I was very, very patient, waited patiently for her for 4 years. And finally, the affinity ripened. Kan ơn. Thank you.
Very grateful to your sharing. And Sister Sawun, you want to wrap up?
Yes, I would like to do the wrapping up. For Sister Annie Lee, I realized that she was just like me, walked into Tzu Chi by herself, and despite the challenges that she faced, she never turned back. She never turned. There was no turning back for her. She continued to walk on this Bodhisattva path, and very grateful to see her that she also sees the moment just like us. For Annie Heng, I noted that after she started Xin Fa Xiang, she became more grounded and have a clear direction in life. And she became much braver and more courageous to take up responsibilities. For Sister Wiping, after Xin Fa Xiang, she learned how to let go of her attachments. And actually, I'm very fascinated by the sharing of how she spread the Dharma to her colleagues. She also very patient with her colleagues. So this is what we all should do. Never give up and continue to be patient. We will definitely be able to achieve what we set up for, right? And just to wrap up a little bit of how the four of us, we participate in Tzu Chi. I would say that each one of us have different affinity in coming into Tzu Chi, but we all seize the moment. Each and every one of us have differences in our strength, and we focus on the strength and not on the weaknesses. Otherwise, we would not be able to walk so firmly till today. And actually, I'm very grateful to my buddy's friend. Because of them, I'm able to walk firmly, and each one of us are pillar of strength to each other. And of course, the most important thing is that all of us, we Xin Fa Xiang. I find Xin Fa Xiang is very, very important. Without Dharma, without Dharma in our heart, it is very easy for us to give up and waver. We will not be able to walk so firmly. Because you want to walk the Bodhisattva path, we really need to have wisdom life. And how to have wisdom life? We must attend Xin Fa Xiang. We must have Dharma in us. So this is our giveaway to all the aspiring patients. Go and Xin Fa Xiang. This is really a rare gift. To be able to be born a human is something very rare, and to be able to have the opportunity to listen to Dharma is even much rarer. So we must seize the opportunity. Okay, the four of us will end with this phrase: great love, great strength comes from unity of mind and efforts. Unity is strength. Go, go, go. Kan ơn. That's all sharing from us, the Klang 4 Buddies group.
Kan ơn Sister Hoon, Sister Annie Lee, Sister Annie Heng, and Sister Wiping. Actually, it's really great aspiration. Very inspired with their development. Actually, I seen them grow up and from a baby. Now they can stand on their own. So the unity that I can see in them. So it's very pleasant working with them, and they are also the pillar of my support. Whenever I got a project, I really count on them to help me to carry on, to follow through. So they've been very cooperative, and the determination to grow. And what is the binding? What's the bond between them? Is actually Xin Fa Xiang, because the Dharma in their heart. So it's so much easier to communicate with them, and we all know why we walk this path. So it's a great joy for me to see them so together, going for commissionership together. I hope, I really, is my hope that I will join them in Taiwan when they meet Master for this, when they go for commissionership. Very grateful to them, to our beloved sisters, for your great support. So I got a lot of congratulatory note when 4 of them successfully passed the so-called exam, get all the approval. So he said, "Wow, sister, now you can your English can fly already." I said, "Yeah, I'm waiting for this moment for a very long time." So next we have Sister Alice from Australia. It's the Tzu Ching.
Okay,
this one. Sorry, we have Sister Phoebe. Sorry, so sorry. We have Sister Phoebe from Australia. She's a Tzu Ching from Australia, and she has served at Tzu Chi Center as Tzu Chi staff for almost 5 years. Let's hear it from her sharing on making peace with Earth and taking the first step. Sister Phoebe, the stage is yours.
Good morning, Shangren, Dharma Masters, and brothers and sisters. Good morning, and very grateful to have the opportunity to share with you today. And I also get very inspired from the previous sisters sharing. It made me reflect on my journey, when I first entered Tzu Chi, and then, all throughout this almost 13 years. And yes, today I'm going to share with you about my journey also in Tzu Chi. And yes, I'm a Sydney Tzu Ching, the youth, and I studied university in Australia back in 2007. So I'm lucky that I can join a group of youth and doing some good deeds and also learn Dharma together. And I moved back to Taiwan at the end of 2015. So in the beginning of 2016, I joined the headquarter team and worked as an administrator in the abode. So I'm really lucky that I can see Dharma Master Jen Yen almost every day and have a group of friends and good companions to work in the Tzu Chi Bodhisattva path. Okay, and I'm also very lucky. Back in 2016 May, I can donate my bone marrow to a young boy or young girl, and I hope that he or she now is returned to school and become healthy. And I'm also hope I can meet them one day in the one of the gathering ceremony. Okay, so since I joined Tzu Chi, I become a very eco-friendly person because I see a lot of environmental protection heroes. Last year is Tzu Chi's environmental protection 30th year, and it touched me the most is the elder volunteers. They use their hands to do recycling every day, even if the weather is really hot or cold, or even in a public holiday. And this is the most beautiful pair of hands that Dharma Master said. And it touched me the most is Dharma Master leads by example. Look at this piece of paper. Master used 4 types of pens to write on the paper. And I just feel that Master really cherish all resources, even a piece of paper or a drop of water. They all have lives. And Master also used 1 pile of water for 1 whole day. So, it inspired me to be more mindful when I use water or when I open the tap. So in Tzu Chi, we also promote 1 chopsticks, the width to save water. And Master think all usable things should be cherished. It has to start from our hearts, implemented in our daily lives. We cherish even just a drop of water. And how does Master save electricity? From the books I read, Master only turned on a little lamp on her desk at night to save the light, so to save the electricity. So that's how I implement in my life too, in my home, because I live in Hualien by myself. So I also I also do that at night. I think, it's more than enough. And I also learned from Master about killing things. And, if we are not using the lights, why not turn it off? Master sometimes ask the disciples. And sometimes, we unintentionally waste a lot of materials around us. So we have to cherish all the natural resources. And I also learned a lot from the above Master about gratitude, cherish, and saving. In the above, I think everywhere we can learn Dharma and how Dharma Master implemented, cherish resources in their life. Look at this hangers. Is actually the cover of the fan. And we all know that Masters is not in Hualien now. Master is in Taipei, and also previously went to Taichung, traveling to some part of Taiwan. And I'm really touched because Dharma Master is already over 80 years old, but her spirit is amazing. And Master says she wants to make every effort to fulfill grand vows. No words can describe my grave concerns upon seeing disaster and suffering beings, despite a lack in physical strength and energy. Still, I do not speak personal comfort and joy. To relieve the suffering of all and to guide all to walk the Bodhisattva path, I vow to push my body to its limit. So I think you guys must watch the live stream about the end of year blessing. Every time I see Dharma Master walking down slowly from the stairs, just want to, get closer to more of her disciple. And I'm really touched because, climbing down from the stairs is hard for her. And, even when she's travel, her schedule is full from 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. There's a lot of meetings and sharing or end of year blessing, volunteer certification. But Masters always be with us and lead by example of how she pushed her body to its limit. So it really inspired me to cultivate myself more diligently. And since I joined Tzu Chi in 2007, I start to care more about the earth and the environments. before that, I'm only a student, a high school student. So I don't really, pay much attention to what's happening around the world and in Taiwan. And I found that, throughout these 30 years, the earth is really overloaded. And just since I'm born, the era, with more and more kids coming out, and we really use a lot of resources. Look at the recycling center in Taiwan. The people likes to use the disposal eating utensil, and in every corner we have the bubble milk tea shop, the tea shop. So people like to drink teas, every day, and just for the convenience, they don't bring their own cup. So that's why Tzu Chi Recycling Center always has a lot of resources. And I'm grateful that back in 31 years ago, Dharma Master urged us to use our clapping hands to do recycling. I think we also save a lot of resources. Okay, so we all know that there are 4 major elements in balance, fluctuating coldness and heat that we can feel, every day, and frequent drought and floods. Now it's not climate change, it's called climate emergency. And I'm not quite sure if you aware of this newest reports published by IPCC. And it published in this year, 9th of August. It says climate change is getting widespread, rapid, and intensifying. So now we just watch a short news and give us the insight of this report.
As the world gets hotter, it's becoming more threatening. With terrifying scenes of mass escapes from Greek islands, burning amid heat waves, just as devastating fires also hit California. And the new report from the UN Climate Panel says there will be much more of this to come.
With every additional amount of global warming,
this major study concludes that temperatures are rising and that it's beyond doubt that human activity is driving them up. And all the warnings so far have been ignored.
the world listened, but didn't hear. The world listened, but it didn't act strongly enough. And as a result, climate change is a problem that is here now. Nobody is safe, and it's getting worse faster.
People in every region of the world are now feeling the impacts of more violent weather, fueled by the gases that we release into the atmosphere.
It's an absolute fact that human influence is warming the climate. And that's a very stark reminder that it is our activities which are changing the climate and affecting these extreme weather events. And as the planet continues to warm, these consequences just get worse.
And the scientists are more certain of all this because they've got satellites spotting in minute detail how the planet is changing. And teams of researchers out in the toughest conditions, gathering data to help work out what's likely to come next. The big question is how much more the planet will heat up in coming decades, so scientists explore different scenarios. In two of them, carbon emissions are cut rapidly and drastically, and although the temperature does rise to potentially damaging levels, it will stay within internationally agreed limits. But in two other scenarios, which are actually much closer to where we're heading right now, we will see dangerous increases in temperature. And the most extreme option would lead to, well, catastrophe. But the message is there is still time to act.
In one sentence, this report shows that human action have got us to where we are, but human action can also crucially decide how the future will look like. We are not doomed.
There is a lot we can all do, like this project in Cambridge, to fit shades to keep the sun off the windows.
this problem's only going to get worse with climate change. We're going to have, I fear, more and more heat waves, and they're going to be worse and worse. So that's why I think it makes sense to shade your windows now, start learning how to adapt.
But some changes will be far tougher to deal with. The oceans will keep rising. We just don't know how much. The scientists say that the level of the oceans is bound to go up almost whatever we do. Maybe by 0.5 meter or so by the end of the century, if emissions are brought under control, but maybe by 1 meter if they aren't. And of course, that would be devastating for millions of people living on coastlines around the world. But they also can't rule out a much larger rise approaching 2 meters. It all depends whether the polar ice sheets start collapsing. The great ice sheets are already adding to the level of the sea, but this process may suddenly accelerate. Scientists aren't sure, but the implications would be disastrous. India is now in the grip of flooding. Higher seas would make it worse. The science has never been so clear that we can head off the worst of climate change, but not all of it. So we urgently need to get ready. David Shukman, BBC News.
Okay. Yes. So from the news, I think we get the insight of, the 6th assessment report of IPCC, and I strongly recommend you to Google it and do a bit of more research, watch more news, or talk about, the 6th assessment report. There's a lot of information and important message inside. And looking at these slides, I think it really shocked me that the CO2 concentration, sea level rise, Arctic sea ice area, and the glacier, is breaking the records of the faster rate or the highest or the lowest level. So the climate is now really devastating at the moment. And it all depends on us how to act and how to influence more people around us. And IPCC also say, unless there are immediate, rapid, and large-scale reduction in greenhouse gas emissions, limited warming to 1.5 Celsius will be beyond reach. And I think, Tzu Chi, we are lucky. Dharma Master already let us know we have to protect the environment 31 years ago. And, recent years, Master also actually, I think around 10 years ago, Master already saying, time is running out. I think that is back in 2010. That's the time I heard Master saying that. Master says, the disaster is happening more frequent, and, she's getting elderly as well. So we have to really act quicker. So Master already give us, teaching and show us we have to act quicker 10 years ago, but really how many people really implemented, saving resources or adopting vegetarian diets. And 2040 is the year that my nephew, 19 years old, because now he's only 1. But the thing is that it's cool that, and it's cool that IPCC warns the global warming will hit 1.5 degrees by 2004 and by 2040, sorry. And now the global temperatures already rise to 1.1 degrees since the late 19th century. So, of course, we look up for a bright future for the younger generations. But the thing is that global warming is really affecting all of our life, and I think life will also be harder for the next generations, because when the global warming hit 1.5 degrees, the droughts, flood, typhoons, and hurricanes probably will expect to rise 2 times or more. So that's why we can see so many disasters happening around the globe at the moment. And also last year is also one of the hottest year. And also I think this year's too in Taiwan is really, really hot. And I'm not quite sure in Malaysia or in your country. And in Canada is one of the coldest country in the world. But this summer in July, Canada sees the heat record of 50 Celsius. And in USA, we see that is 56 Celsius. It's really, really abnormal. And Taiwan this year also experienced the severest drought in recent 60 years. And really, I think it's climate emergency now. And I recommend you to read this book. There's a English edition as well. It calls The Uninhabitable Earth. It's written by a journalist, David, and it tells us a story of the future. I think it's really a good book to let you know what's happening around the globe and the situation of climate change. And really, what are we going to leave for future generations? If you have daughters, sons, grandchildren, what are we going to leave for them? And Barack Obama say we are the first generation to feel the effect of climate change, and we are the last generations who can do something about it. So from the news that I played before, we really need to act quicker and really make some stronger change. And last year, the Earth Overshoot Day is on 22nd of August. What is Earth Overshoot Day? It means that from this day, we have used up all the natural resources the Earth can generate. So after 22nd of August, we are used up the resources and we kind of in debt and using the future generations natural resources. So last year, even with COVID, we really don't really fly much and people stay at home. But the thing is that we still use up, almost 1.6 Earth natural resources. And how about this year? It's getting worse. The date moved almost 1 month earlier. It is on 29th of July. We have used up the natural resource that we can generate this year. So now every light you are turning on, or every tap of water you are turning, please be more mindful, because the more we use, the less we can use in the future, or the future generation can use in the future. Okay, so we all know this now, global warming and the IPCC's report. Are we going to ignore or to act? Let's welcome a speaker to share with us now.
You okay? You need a minute? Cool. Listen up, people. I know a thing or two about extinction. And let me tell you, and you'd kind of think this would be obvious, going extinct is a bad thing. And driving yourselves extinct, in 70 million years, that's the most ridiculous thing I've ever heard. At least we had an asteroid. What's your excuse? You're headed for a climate disaster, and yet every year governments spend hundreds of billions of public funds on fossil fuel subsidies. Imagine if we had spent hundreds of billions per year subsidizing giant meteors. That's what you're doing right now. Think of all the other things you could do with that money. Around the world, people are living in poverty. Don't you think helping them would make more sense than, I don't know, paying for the demise of your entire species? Let me be real for a second. You've got a huge opportunity right now. As you rebuild your economies and bounce back from this pandemic, this is humanity's big chance. So here's my wild idea. Don't choose extinction. Save your species before it's too late. It's time for you humans to stop making excuses and start making changes. Thank you.
This video is made by UNDP, and we all know that in the beginning of November there is a COP26, and so many countries leaders gather together to have meetings. But I think the consensus is not strong enough or act quick enough. Many of the plans still planting in 2030, not cutting down forests, and cutting down the fossil fuels slowly in some development country. So we all know that there is no planet B, and it's relying on us, human being and all of us to act and do differently and to influence your families or your communities. Okay, so what can we really do? I'm going to share with you the 30 eco-friendly actions that implement by myself, and all these 30 actions is a step-by-step journey. I'm not like that kind of person to instantly that I can do so many things or so many eco action or do so many change at once. But this is all this since I joined Tzu Chi about 15 years ago, is a step-by-step step for me to change. And I just try to going greener each and every day, and I try to think about the environment or the earth or the natural resource that I'm going to consume, before I make any actions, take any actions or make any decisions. Okay, so first action, of course, is vegetarian. And I'm a vegetarian 13 years, almost 13 years now. And since the day I changed, I turned vegetarian, I also one of the first in my family to become vegetarian. Since then, I try to influence my families and my friends, and also Tzu Chi friends as well. So, and Dharma friends in Tzu Chi. And I think the more I know, the more I want to share about how good is vegetarian to your health and to the environment and the animals. And 5 years after I became a vegetarian, I decided to turn vegan because I know the fact of how dairy products, you know, look how cruel is the dairy product. So I decided to turn to vegan. So now I'm a vegan for almost 8 years now. And since last year, when the pandemic happened, Dharma Master want us to vow and also to encourage more people to become vegetarian, to promote vegetarianism. So I make a little vow that I want to influence 300 people to take the challenge, take the 30 days challenge, either to become a vegetarian or to take the challenge for 30 days of vegan. And why vegan? Because I found in Tzu Chi, almost 90% of the vegetarians, you know, about 90% of people are vegetarian, you know, when they are already not eating meats, and very minor are vegan. And now, since last year, I really appreciate Malaysia start the 21-day healthier meat challenge. I think since then, now we have so many countries and regions also hosting this event. So now I can see more and more people turning vegan or whole food plant-based diet. So since last year, 3rd of March, I make this vow, and I try to promote it and share with people who I know or who I might have some little connection with, and I invite them to take the challenge. And so far, there are 2,077 people have joined this 30 days challenge, and a lot of them, you know, after 30 days, they have turned vegan, especially like Brother Joe Huang. I think you must know him, the pure practitioner, and also Brother Isaac Chu. 13 years ago, he influenced me to become vegetarian. And then last year, I invite him to take on the vegan challenge. And since then, he turned vegan as well. So I just, you know, just with a simple mind, with zero distraction thoughts, and just one goal to promote vegetarian. And I also, I know probably most of you are vegetarian. So if you are already vegetarian, I really encourage you to try to take on the 30 days challenge to become vegan, or you can take the 21 days healthier meat challenge in Malaysia as well. Or if you are in other part of the country, if they have this event, it's really good. I also joined in August, and I think it make me feel you know, lighter, you know, because we eat whole food, plant-based, and it's really big, you know, a lot of nutritions and very, very healthy diets. Okay, so I probably just quickly run through this few slides, because probably most of you already know this. The cattle really generate a lot of CO2 compared with other like pigs, chickens, and all other animals. So cattle really create a lot of CO2, like the milk, cheese that you like to eat also come from cattle. And how much water is needed for producing 1 kg of all these crops or meats? Look at this, the ox is also one of the highest one, and the second still cheese, because really the cattle's really not only messy, they also eat a lot of crops and drink a lot of water, and even egg as well, because chicken as well. So look at this, you know, if you want to be more eco-friendly, you know, we have to make the change, and plant-based diet is really healthy. Look at this plant-based diet is really a lot of water we can save if we go vegan or plant-based diet. Okay, so few years ago, I also watched Conspiracy. This is a very good documentary, give you a lot of insight of how we impact the environments, you know, especially if you are still eating meat or drinking milk and taking dairies. And here, just a statistic about the waste from a farm of 2,500 dairy cows equals waste from a city of 411,000 people. So it means one cow produce 164 people's waste. So we really generate a lot of pollution as well. And this year, March, there is a new documentary. You can watch this in Netflix. It's called Conspiracy. You know, I know more about, you know, the factory farming and all this, but I really pay attention much to what's happening under the sea. And it really shocked me that, you know, 85% of oxygens come from the ocean, and the world catches 5 million fish every minute. And less than 1% of our ocean are not affected by commercial fishing. Commercial fishing is really a scary industry. You know, look at the nets, you know, they can catch all these dolphins or sea turtles and all these other species, other fishes or marine lives, you know. And sometimes when they catch it, they don't need it and then they throw it back. But the thing is that probably the life of that fish is already very weak. So I recommend you to watch this documentary and share with your friends and family to let more people know about the fact. And we all know that factory farming use more than 80% of the antibiotics. And look at these animals, they growing faster and bigger every day, just trying to, the people just want to, you know, earning more money, you know, and producing more meat to people in a shorter time. That's why I think the plant-based diet really is really amazing. In the 21 days healthier meat project in Taiwan, we can see that so many meat eaters or even vegetarian, you know, if we don't know how to eat healthily, if we eat too much sugar, oil, or carbohydrate, it's really not good for our health. But you know, the plant-based diet, if you eat the right food, 90% of the severe illness can be prevented. If you want to know more about this, you can also read this book called The China Study, written by the Dr. Colin Campbell. And there are so many resources at the moment when you Google it, or a lot of documentary. One of the documentary called The Game Changers. You know, we can see so many athletes, you know, they perform better when they take the vegan diet or the whole food plant-based diet. So it's really a you know, ultimate diet for us and for our health. And this book is I really enjoy to read this book as well, about how to create a vegan world. Now Master wants us to promote vegetarian, but the thing is that if we don't know more, or you know more about the fact of, you know, the animal or the sea or the environments, it's really hard for us to share with more people. And with healthier meat, we found that health is one of the most effective way to promote vegetarian, because we all want to be healthy. So you can encourage your family or friend to start from one meal a week or a day first. And sometimes, you know, throughout this 30 days challenge, weekly I will send a little message with a content with 1 or 2 short films and share with them about the fact of, why being vegetarian or vegan is good for the environment. Okay, so there's a lot of information on the website. We can all research and share with people to let them to make a decision on their own. And here is a healthier me challenge. It's really, really good. And we hope that we hope to promote this in globally, more and more people in other countries, they can host these events. Okay, so second eco-friendly action that I take is I never order takeaway meals, because in Taiwan eating is really a thing that it is a kind of big things. And with the pandemic, a lot of disposable utensils are used in the restaurants or takeaway shops. So I try to cook at home or just eat in if possible. So I never order takeaway meals. And I bring my own takeaway containers. So even the rice bowl in Taiwan, I use it. And when I'm making decision of what to eat, when I going on the business trip or travel, I try to buy things that are not wrapped in the plastic, which is really hard, in Taipei train station 3 days ago when I just came back from Taipei. I just want to buy something, but the thing is that everything like sushi or the bread or the buns, everything is wrapped in plastic. So I choose to eat in a tofu restaurant just to have a soup and wrapping soup to make myself feeling. So we can always make a change, make a better choice. Try not to create any plastic or just try to make the world a better place. And fourth, I bring my own cups and straws. So even I rarely go to bubble tea shop, but if I really want to drink, I just bring my own cup and straw. So without it, I won't buy. And I bring my own environmental protection bag for sure if I want to go shopping. If I forget the bag, probably I will just ask them if there's any boxes or boxes for me to use to hold these things. But mostly I remember to bring my own plastic shopping bag. Okay, so practice recycling. In Taiwan, we have a recycling station everywhere. So in my spare time, I would love to go and do recycling. And in Taiwan, I'm not quite sure in your country, it's quite common that vegetables and fruits are wrapped in plastic, especially in the supermarket. In the local traditional supermarket, is better. Most of the things are not wrapped in plastic. But in the supermarket, you can see that on the left. So I try to go to traditional supermarket to buy veggie and fruits. And I try to turn off lights and unplug devices to save the energy. And actually in the abode, because with so many people living there, so many stuff, sometimes when I walk past, I can really see that the fan is on or the light is on. I will just try to turn it off, when I see there's no people inside, or unplug the power switch. And in Taiwan, this year is really hot, almost 38 degrees, in quite a many hot days. but I also have no air conditioning during summer. And this year, I moved to a colder, because where I live was in the top of the house. So this summer is really hot. So I decided to move to another colder region, and in July, just for 2 months, because I don't really want to turn on the air conditioning during summer. So just a bit of move. I think I can try to save energy, and also live in a colder area. And of course, take a shower instead of bath, and try to save water, use water twice. Master teaches, when we wash vegetables or when we're taking a shower, we can collect all this water and try to give water twice life. And I carry a handkerchief with me, especially in summer. It's really sweating, and I can use this handkerchief. And I use cotton instead of toilet paper. And this is, I think I try to adopt this since last year. I read a book, and also in Europe or USA, there's quite many people trying to use the cloth toilet paper, and it's easy to wash and easy to dry. Just use the bathroom toilet flush before, and then use the cotton to dry it. If you are not used to this, then you can try to buy the non-cutting trees toilet paper or the tissues. Now in Jingsi, they also have this product in Taiwan. Okay, so try to choose bamboo shoots bamboo toothbrush. Look at this, the head can also change. Now there are some products really eco-friendly. You can look for it. And I use cotton panty liners as well for almost 4 years now. Yes, so one is never too small to change. Our every choice like a vote for different future. And I also use vegan skincare products, and like the bath soap or shampoo soap is all available. And even though I can drive and ride, but I choose a zero carbon bicycle. I've been working in Hualien for almost 6 years now. And actually we don't have much bus in Hualien, so really you have to either drive or taking motorbike if you want to move to A to B. But the thing is that I choose bicycle, and I also share rides, with friends or colleagues to try to not, generate or produce too much CO2. Okay, so I also refuse excessive packaging with all this biscuits and snack. Really, burning. If you bury under the soil, is never going away. And with healthier meat, I'm really lucky. I kind of also not eating all this processed food anymore. Yes, so it's really easy for me. And do not waste food, avoid leftover waste, eat 80% full. This is also a teaching by Dharma Master. We can save the 20% to help others. And in Taiwan, when we go to see the dentist, we always have a plastic cup there. But the thing is that since last year, I bring my own cup when I go to dentist. Just try to save that cup. And I take the stairs instead of the elevator. Now I live in the 8th floor, so I try to climb it up and down by the stairs. And I think few months ago, I heard a 4-year boy from Malaysia he lives in 36 floors, and sometimes he asks his mom to take the stairs with him, and that really inspired me as well. Even a 4 years old boy, trying to save the environment. Okay, so when I do shopping, I buy locals, try to eat seasonal fruits and vegetables and choose local food. Now with the international world, in the shop, we can see a lot of food from, other countries, plant-based milk, or, cheese, plant-based, vegan cheese, or especially all this type of product. Even potatoes in Taiwan, we can buy, or apples we can buy from different countries. But I always make sure the product I buy is made in Taiwan or grown in Taiwan. And this, I try to practice as well. I try not to buy new clothes. If I want to buy, I buy secondhand, because we all know that fashion industry produce 10% of the humanity's carbon emissions, and is the second largest consumer of the world's water supplies. Okay, and when I buy things, I try to read the ingredients. I try to avoid products containing palm oil, and one is for the health, and another is because palm oil kind of cleaning large areas of rainforest. And I try to travel less by plane. Just going on the business trip, probably I will take the plane. But when our family want to have a family gathering, we try to just stay in Taiwan, because there are still many places that we haven't been. So just try not to fly as much. Okay, and I set power saving or dark mode for the products, email system, mobile, or in your laptop. You can set a power saving, because sometimes when you go away for a meeting for 1 hour, 2 hours, some people just leave the computer there and the screen is still on. But actually you can just set the power saving mode. Probably 3 minutes after, they can turn off the screen and save the electricity. Okay, so bills, use electronic ones, and delete emails, unsubscribe the unimportant emails. I read the article saying that the emails, if we keep emails in our mailbox, it also generate some CO2 as well, because the server is still running, and accumulate the spaces. So try to delete unimportant emails. Really, with this busy schedule, who will read the emails, probably 1 year ago, so you can try to delete it and clear your mailbox. And of course, I use electronic bills, so no papers. And when I buy things, I try to be more aware of how it produced, even when I eat in. So I choose zero waste food in Taiwan. On the right photo, there's a pancake, like in Taiwan we like to eat. But the thing is that every pancake wrapped in a plastic bag. So since then, I just not ordering this type of food anymore. Just try to eat other products, other food. Okay, so one of the last one, upcycling. I buy Jinsi product, but the thing is that still generate packaging. So in Taiwan, we call the Abel Master called that the packaging of the mixed grain and also the oat pack, so try to cut it neatly, and they can make it into the shopping bags, upcycling. Okay, so now I try to really take the challenge and implement in my life the zero waste lifestyle. I inspired by a 25 years old university girl, and look at this. This is the 4 years of garbage that is generated by her, so it's really amazing. And just try to produce, just try to save the environment and try not to produce garbage if possible. And yes, so one person, no matter how much I do, I cannot make enough difference. But what we need is for many people to do the right thing with us. So I hope that today's sharing can give you some ideas and probably something for you to think about how you can change in your lifestyle, make the change. And in a tug of war between good and evil, who will win? The side with the most people may not necessarily win. Is the side that exerts the most power that wins. So that's why Master wants us to promote vegetarian diet to more people, because we hope to be the change we want to see. And this is a very interesting pictures with the Guanyin Pusa with the hands like this. It looks like okay, so every time when we pray, to the Buddha and Guanyin Pusa or other Pusa, we always pray for the free of disaster and harmony of society. But the thing is that Dharma Master Zhen Yan already let us know, the tips to eliminate the disaster and COVID. But we all know the answer, but are we really saying okay or taking action? Master already say the wondrous medicine is to adopt and promote a vegetarian diet since last year, when at the beginning of the pandemic. So let's try to become the usual. This is the teaching by Dharma Master in October. Master says the end of global pandemic is yet in sight. Hence, to stay safe, avoiding gathering is a must. Thanks to technology, we can make lights to reach far and wide, a world with no bounds. Diligently learning as usual and caring as usual. Let eating and promoting vegetarianism become usual. Let bearing kindness and doing good also be usual, as only with pure, great love can all lives be protected. And this is also one of the last Master's teaching I want to share with you today. And I think just don't underestimate to influence just one person. Like me, Brother Isaac Chu influenced me 13 years ago, and since then I try to promote vegetarian with more people. And now he's promoting vegan to more people. So the thing is that we can always influence others by our actions. And our life is one and only, so is our Mother Earth. So this year, the Earth Day, the topic is called Restore Our Earth. So let's try to save the environment by our daily actions and try to influence more people and keep promoting vegetarian. Thank you very much for the opportunity to share with you today, and hope you have a good day. Thank you.
Oh, thank you, Sister Phoebe, for your wonderful sharing. It's so impressive and very inspiring as well. Looking through the measures, conscious measure you've taken to protect us, make me feel shy also. I think I hardly practice 10% of what you're doing. So it's a food for thoughts for myself to reflect and reevaluate what I'm doing now, So very grateful to you for sharing all these interesting data and also ways that we can do to protect Earth. Really, maybe we really need to learn from you. To, as you rightfully said, that we only have one Earth. Either we do it or we don't do, because there's really no more alternative. But have to make sure Earth survive before we can survive. 感恩 to you, Sister Phoebe, for your wonderful sharing. I pass it on to Sister Tzu Ching.
Cảm ơn Sister Phoebe and cảm ơn to Klang sisters for the wonderful sharing. I'm at this vegetarian store. We are also on the way to promote veggie on every Saturday morning. Very grateful to all the wonderful sharings from the morning. Hey, Sister Susan, I'm very grateful for your great leadership, inspiring the Klang sisters, and today she again inspiring all of us with their 这个Tzu Ching, how they are inspired to walk on the path. And Sister Phoebe really very kind. In fact, I'm thinking of asking Sister Phoebe to add me as one of the weekly. I think Sister Phoebe is sharing the tips on vegetarian. Okay, later those who are keen, I can pass the name to me, or I later pass the info to everyone on what Sister Phoebe is sharing every weekly to the friends, to a group of friends, to inspire them to be vegan. Okay, everyone, let us seize the opportunity. Today, I'm sure I think Tzu Chi volunteers, most of us are already vegetarian. Those not yet, do seize the opportunity. Today is Luna also. We are also promoting eating vegetarian. If can, vegan. Okay, let us leave forward. I'm not sure whether sisters you all want to take a photo, group photo, or we all proceed to the forward. Okay, let us pay respects to Buddha and Masters for another wonderful days of great teachings. 3 bows. First bow. Second bow. And third bow. And cảm ơn to our Masters for guiding us today. Cảm ơn. Okay, cảm ơn brothers and sisters. See everyone next Saturday. Take good care and stay safe, everyone. Cảm ơn. Hey, cảm ơn sister, all the Klang sisters and all the brothers and sisters for your great time, for your time to join us today. Cảm ơn Sister Phoebe, keep in touch. Cảm ơn.
Thank you, everyone.
Take care.
Everybody.
Take care.
Bye.
Bye.
Take care. Happy weekend.